Hi guys, it's Dan here from Dan Biggins Photography. Oh my god, look, it's me. I'm basically, this is a little bit of a departure for me. I thought I'd do a little tutorial video to talk about Facebook advertising because I've spoken to other photographers and they've all said, Dan, it doesn't work, advertising Facebook is rubbish. Well, let me tell you, Sonny Jim, if you do it correctly, it can be quite effective. I've actually booked 3 weddings through Facebook advertising, so if you do it correctly, it can reap dividends. So, let us begin. Now, there are 3 ways you can advertise on Facebook. The first way, which I'm not going to cover, is to boost your post, which is this button here. So we've got a lovely post of Hannah and Chris in their pre-wedding session, and you can boost the post. The problem with this is you can't really target who you want, or specifically enough. So I'm not going to go through it. You can have a play with it if you want, but I can't be bothered. So that's one way of doing it, but like I say, it's not particularly targeted to your ideal client. So we're going to look at the 2 other ways. Now the first way is to boost this post, but via the advert manager, and then the third way is to create an entirely new advert altogether. So I'm going to show you how to boost this post here via the advert manager. Target all those lovely couples gagging for your work. Okay, so here we go. So your marketing objective, there's loads of things you can do, yada, yada, yada. The main one I do is either send people to my website. I occasionally run an ad just firing them to the homepage, or I'll boost a post, which might be a post that links to your website. It's up to you. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm going to boost my post. Well, boost my post. So page post engagement, we're going to just leave it called that. You can name that whatever you like. So we're going to continue. Okay, so this is where we define our audience. And at the moment, it's very unspecific. So our location is the UK, people aged between 18 to 65, which is pretty much everyone on Facebook, let's face it. So we're going to be a bit more specific. So I'm going to add London. I want to target people in London. And I'm going to choose current city only. So it hones right in on London. As I live in Kent, lovely Garden of England, I'm going to target Kent as well. And now you can see immediately my audience is more defined, more specific. Estimated daily reach, we have between 12 to 31,000 people on Facebook. It's too many because you're going to be wasting money. It's still not specific enough. And on Instagram, now I don't generally advertise on Instagram, but you can. I can show you where to switch that off a little bit later. So stay tuned, people. Okay, so I'm going to target people between the age of 21 and 35. And I'm going to target the ladies. Hello, ladies. I find, and your clients might be different, but I find that basically 99% of the people who contact me are of the female persuasion. So it's generally brides, in my experience, who book photographers, but I have had the odd groom now and again. So guys, come on, up your game. Right, so we're sticking with that age group and this demographic. I'm leaving language as it is. Now this is where it gets funky. So I want to target people who are interested, not in kill switch engage. I'm sure they're very good. People who are interested in engagement. And when you click on that, it then comes up with loads of suggestions. People who are interested in wedding dresses, engagement rings, planners, wedding, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not interested in that at the moment. I'm going to search for engagement. Let's scroll down. Nope. We've done that already. Engaged. That's the one. So here we go. We have newly engaged 1 year. And each time you click, it should update the suggestions. You even have friends of newly engaged. So if you want to target people who know people who are engaged and give them a bit of an elbow in the ribs, say, come on, check this guy out. He's great, man. Then you can do that. So I'm going to just stick with that. I'm then going to try and spell properly, which would be nice. I'm going to type engaged again. We have newly engaged 6 months. And then you probably saw there we had newly engaged 12 months. Excuse me. Engaged. So we want the 3 months. 3 months. And that's the basic audience I target. What you can also target, for example, I found country house wedding venues. Let's say you want to target people who have a country house wedding. You can go for that. It brings up here as well how many people. My past performance, see, I've used it before and the performance was low. So maybe not use that one this time. So there we have a demographic. It's now defined. It's now come down to 2,500, 6,500 people, which is much more reasonable. I'm going to browse as well. If you click on browse, you can see there's a crazy amount of things you can do. People's education, their ethnic affinity, financial situation, how Facebook knows that, their income. If you say, yeah, I want to target rich people, gives you money. You can do it that way. Generation, not the generation game, but the millennials, man, okay? I mean, I generally don't do this, but employers, their various interests. Are they into fitness and well-being? Are they into gyms, into meditation, all this sort of stuff? Yoga, Zumba. It's mental. You can really expats. You can really sort of hone in on your ideal client, really. Exactly the sort of, obviously you've got to have an idea who that person is in your head beforehand, but once you know, you can come in here and then really whittle it down. So what I also like to do is exclude people who've already liked my page, because they're probably sick of the sight of me already. So you want to target new people who aren't fans of your page in case they like it. So we exclude people, and then we add, I've got a few pages, no, that's that one. So we're excluding people on there. Now, you can save that audience if you want and use it again. I'm not going to bother in this instant. Like I said earlier, I tend not to advertise on Instagram, but I might give it a whirl. I might update this video when I do. Leave that as is, mobile devices. Now, here's where you set a daily budget. I tend to set it for a £5. And then sometimes I run it for a week, or I just run it continuously. The danger, of course, running continuously is you'll forget and your bank account will be empty. Fantastic. So we start it from today, and then let's say we run it through to next Tuesday, and then you can change the time, and it tells you spend no more than £30.85. Okay. We'll leave this optimization for adverts, delivery, post engagement, automatic bid amount. So Facebook will, depending on how popular the advert is, it will adjust what it says there. Like Facebook set the bid that helps you get the most post engagements at the best price. We're leaving this. You can sort of switch them off during the night if you want, but some people are night owls and they might stumble across your advert during the night, so I tend to leave that. And then standard, show your adverts throughout the day, recommended. Again, you can change your advert set name within this campaign. So I'm going to leave that as it is. So I'm going to continue. Now we use an existing post, and click on that. And basically you can choose any one of your posts, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to stick with that one. I've no idea what your URL parameters are. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's all good. We'll leave that. We won't cover Facebook pixels here, but basically you can install a pixel on your website. So then when people visit your site, that information will be transmitted back to Facebook to say they visited, and then you can create a new audience of people who have visited your website. So a month down the line, you can advertise to them again, and they'll say, hang on, that's that dude's site I visited. How does he know I'm here? He's psychic. It's witchcraft. So you can do that, but we're not going to do that. But it's a good way to always track all your adverts. Otherwise, you won't know what works, will you? So my homepage one, I haven't run an advert to that. Or maybe I haven't got it set up properly lately. Anyway, so that's how you boost an existing post effectively. So, but we're not going to place that order. And then you can do that, blah, blah, blah. And you can go back if you want. Okay. So the third way is to create an advert from scratch. So that's pretty straightforward, but slightly different actually. So what we're going to do, we'll go again into create adverts. Okay, here we go. Bloody, 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 blah. Talk amongst yourselves. So what we're going to do is... interesting. This time we're going to send people to our site. Okay, to my site even. I'm not going to send to your site. Okay, clicks to website. So again, choose that, click continue. Again, we have the audience. So we're going to do London. We're going to keep it as that. We're going to do that. And then we'll leave it at that for now. Oh, hello. We're going to go 21 to 35. And we're going to select the ladies. Again, recently used. We're going to do newly engaged. We're going to do newly engaged. We're going to do newly engaged. We're going to target those. Again, it's been more specific. It's whittled it down. We're going to, again, exclude people who like my page. Okay, we're going to bump off Instagram. See you, Instagram. So this is all familiar to you now. Let's just do it continuously. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So that's the same as boosting a post. Now, you can, when you create a new advert in this instant, create a carousel of images. So it's a bit like split testing. And Facebook will present the advert with the most popular image and text. I'll show you. I might as well do it while we're here. Or you can do a single image, but we're going to do a carousel. So we're going to do a carousel of 3 images. You can do more. So we can select automatically show the best images first. And then add a card at the end with your ugly mug, which is... Hello. That's me, that is. Right, so, first of all, enter the text to allure people to your advert. So I'm going to do, book me because I'm ruddy great in it. Okay. So that's the first advert. Let's change the image actually, just to show you. Let's go into my image library. You can upload the images, so we'll choose Shimmy and Jason from recent pre-wedding sesh. So it should eventually load that in. It's a little bit slow to do. So there we go, that's them. My headline, something funky. I mean, we can talk about the advertising text all day, but that's an art in itself. But I try and sort of ask a question, get people interested. I'm going to leave that. I'm not going to describe where people visit my site. I'm going to leave that as is. You set the URL you want to point them to, and then you select your call to action. So apply now, book now, contact us, download, blah, blah, blah. And then you've got this thing, which I don't know. And then you've got your tracking pixel, which you can select there. So basically this is the first one. The second image, let's select another image. Let's go to image library. Let's choose Vixen in there. Okay, that should load that one in, which is this one. Now, you can change the headline for this one. So let's call it headline. Oh, my 2 keys a bit knackered. Headline 2. So I'll show you where this appears after we've set this. It's kind of off the page here, but if we click on mobile newsfield, there you go. That's what mobile users will see. So book me because I'm ready, great in it. And then headline 2 is in the second one. And then I think, yes, you can't change the actual copy. The copy is the same for all of the adverts under here, but the headline and the images can be different for each advert, if that helps. So I'm going to change the headline. Oh. For the third advert, I'm going to select another image. I'm going to choose Vicky and Rich because they're great. And then over here, that should load. Come on. Yep, there we go. That's loaded that, and that's loaded that. If your image is a bit off center, you can crop the image. So we can remember the rule of thirds, people. So yeah, that'll do. And then that will adjust that for you. So we now have 3 images or 3 sort of adverts within one with the same text, but a different headline and image for each. And then Facebook, as it says, will serve up the best performing image first. If we cover that. This feature is currently available in newsfeed adverts for all other placements, images appearing in the order they are loaded. Oh, okay. Well, it should be, yeah, that's on desktop anyway. Just forget I said anything, honestly. So there we go. So that's our carousel. And we've set our targeting. And that's pretty much it, really, guys. So let's just recap the 3 ways you can advertise. First is to boost a post from your timeline, which I wouldn't recommend. Secondly is to boost a post from the advert manager, which I would recommend. And thirdly is to create an advert from scratch, which I tend to do if I'm driving people to my website, as you've just seen. And I'll have 3 different images and 3 different headlines, just to test what works. And that is about it. Just one last thing. Let's come away from that. There is the Facebook Power Editor, which is once you've created an advert, it gives you even more depth. They don't openly advertise this, but it is accessible if you search for Facebook Power Editor. So I have a campaign running at the moment, driving people to my site. This was another one I did recently, but there's a lot more info. Again, I could spend ages boring you with all of this, but I won't. But check out the Facebook Power Editor. Okay, guys, I hope that helps you with your advertising, and good luck. Take care and speak to you soon. Bye.